Friends, today I am starting new chapter, cell. New chapter, cell. The branch of biology in which you study about cell is cytology, or nowadays it is also known as cell biology. Now, question arises, what is cell? Cell is actually building block of living being. Building block of living being, that means each one consists of, each living being consists of cell. Now, it is structural and functional unit of life. It is structural and functional unit of life. It is building block of cell. Now, next question arises, why it is called structural and functional unit of life? Structural and functional unit of life. Why cell is called structural unit? Because each living being consists of, body of each living being consists of cells. Whereas, why it is called functional unit? Because each cell can show all vital activities, metabolism, etc. That means it keeps its own identity if it is in one cell stage also. That means each cell, that's why each one keeps its separate identity or individual identity. Individual identity. That's why it is also known as functional unit. Look at again. Structural unit means each living being consists of cell. That's why component of each living being is cell. That's why it is called structural unit. Whereas when we see functional unit, why it is called functional unit? Because each one can show each and every vital activities, metabolism, etc. That's why each one is capable to keep its separate identity, individual identity. Now come to its history. How cell is discovered? Who was the scientist who had discovered the cell? History of cell. How it is discovered? Name of first scientist, Robert Hooke, comes in mind. Robert Hooke. Who was Robert Hooke? Robert Hooke was discoverer of cell. When he discovered it in 1665, he had discovered it. How he has discovered it? Actually, he has taken how he has discovered. Actually, how he has discovered or how he has invented, when we see it, we find he has taken first thing, self-made compound microscope. He has taken self-made compound microscope. Second one thing which he has taken, thin slice of dead cord cell. Thin slice of dead cord cell. When he has taken thin slice of dead cord cell and observed it under self-invented microscope, compartmental structure is named cell. And in this way, he had discovered the cell. This large number of compartmental structure is called cell. But Robert Hooke was unable to see protoplasm. As you know, protoplasm is living matter where each and every metabolic activity, vital activities occurs. But Robert Hooke was unable to see protoplasm. Why? Completely unable to see protoplasm. Why? Because he has used dead cork cell. Dead cork cell. Since cell is dead, then how vital activities can be seen there? That's why he was completely unable to see the protoplasm. Now, in the list of history of cell, you will find second name, and that second name was of Leeuwenhoek. That second scientist was Leeuwenhoek. He was discoverer of living cell. Discoverer of living cell. He had used living cell and observed under improved microscope, and then observe it. He was able to see the protoplasm. That's why he was known as discoverer of. He is known as he is known as discoverer of living cell. Now, what is cell theory? On the basis of these discoveries, two scientists, Sleeden and Swan, came here, and he put forward cell theory. Now we will discuss about cell theory. Cell theory was given by Sleeden and Swan. Sleeden was botanist. He had discovered in plants, whereas Swan was geologist. He had discovered in animals. And in 1838, Sleeden has given, and in 1839, Swan has given, and collectively his effort is named cell theory. There are 2 points in cell theory. First one, each living being consists of cell. That is, cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Second point was later on added by Whitcomb. Each cell arises from pre-existing one. These 2 points today known as cell theory. Now we will discuss about protoplasm. Protoplasm is contained in each and every cell. Protoplasm is actually living matter of cell or living fluid of cell, where each and every vital metabolic activities occurs. Actually, this protoplasm consists of cytoplasm and nucleoplasm. These two are bounded by cell membrane. Bonded externally consists of cytoplasm and nucleoplasm, and these two are collectively known as protoplasm, which is bonded externally. Protoplasm is bonded externally by cell membrane. Cell is discovered due to invention of microscope. What is microscope? When you will see, microscope is an instrument used for magnifying those objects which can't be seen with naked eye. Till now, three types of microscope were discovered. First one is simple microscope, second one is compound microscope, and third one is electron microscope. Who was the discoverer of simple microscope? Who was the discoverer? Leeuwenhoek. Compound microscope, Robert Hooker. Electron microscope, Knoll and Ruska. What is the difference in magnification? Now look here. In simple microscope, it magnifies 100 to 200 times, whereas in compound microscope, it magnifies 1000 to 2000 times, whereas in electron microscope, 200,000 times. How magnification occurs in this microscope? Actually, for magnification, in simple microscope, one convex lens and mirror is used. Here, two convex lens and mirror is used, whereas here, no lenses are used. Only by beams of electrons are used for magnification. Now, in next topic, we will proceed in next class. Thank you.